Whoops, that was a little much. A little bit too close to Halloween. Let's try this again, shall we?
So guys, Mr. Brown's Goldies, and you're here in Ewa Beach, Hawaii. The island of Oahu is where the hashtag Goldfish Union started, and it was right in the streets of Kalihi down there in Honolulu, Hawaii. Yeah, we started out with just me and a couple guys. Instead of having to go to each other's page all the time, it was like, let's just make one hashtag. We can use it, and then we just hit the hashtag. We can see everybody's fish, all the boys' fish. And then people started asking, like, whoa, what's Goldfish Union? How do I join? I was like, oh, you just put the hashtag on your goldfish if you want people to see it. And now I think like 158,000 people around the world use it. So, see, I started keeping goldfish. I don't remember if it was 2012 or maybe 2010. Yeah, I really enjoy the hobby a lot. It's very rewarding, especially when it's breeding time, and it's really a whole lot of fun to grow out the fish, and it's just a very calm and enjoyable hobby. And, I recommend it for anyone that just wants to get into something, but maybe dogs are a little bit too much. I don't think goldfish will ever replace man's best friend, but I think it's going to be up there. I have these ones right here. These are from Uncle Junior's line. These are called the Qs. I would like to integrate these guys into my line because these guys are beautiful. Look at those nice scales right there.
That's beautiful.
Thank you. These are Uncle Junior and Uncle Jerry's. That's a special line because they're two brothers. They both keep goldfish. And there's some OGs. Everyone knows what OG is, original gangsters. So those guys work really good together. They can do anything. But the fact that they're into this hobby, it's good for me because they let me have almost first pick, and then I try to breed them in with my line. Now I'll show you my two that are in here that are healthy that I'd like to breed with. This is the first substitute. His name is Tetris.
I see posts about him all the time.
Yeah, this guy's real strong.
Why is his name Tetris?
All right, now look. You see his back is real crooked.
Yep.
He's a hybrid fish. He's half Ranchu and he's half Aranda. See, I'm still keeping him underwater. He can breathe. Now, I like this guy because he's got a nice fat football head. You see that?
Yeah.
I can use that. And I like these black spots. They're staying strong, even in like, black fades. If you keep goldfish, you know that. Or if you're new to the hobby, don't be sad when you lose the black because it's a beautiful feature, but it goes away. But I think that if I breed this guy with a pure Aranda from some other line, I think that line, that ridge will smooth out, and I don't think the negative qualities will hold in all of them. See, I went back to my hometown of Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, and I went back for 2 months to visit my grandma. She's going to be 93 next month, and of course I see my kids for the month. And while I was gone, my family was looking after the fish for me, and they did a great job with the water changes. And I had a few setbacks though, because when I left with the instructions to feed the fish every single day, but I probably should have told them to feed them once a week. So I was playing it safe. I was playing it too safe by saying feed them every day. I should have just told them to feed them once a week. But when I came back, there was a lot of fish that were gone because the water quality had gone down. A lot of fish fell victim to dropsy, and dropsy is a disease that's caused by anything, but I think it was dirty water, and yeah, I lost a lot of my stock to that, but that's all right. I still have 3 from my line still alive. 2 are healthy. 1 is not so healthy, but as long as I can breed the 2 that are healthy, I'll be good to keep the line going strong. Of course, I could order a beautiful Aranda from Dandy Arandas, a beautiful Aranda from, I don't know, whoever else sells them, King Koi. I could breed 2 showfish and make a whole line of showfish, and that's cool too. It's just not what I'm going for. You know, I like the distinctive line. I want people to see it to go, that is Mr. Brown's Goldies, you know, so that's always the goal. That's always the goal. It's always to make something new. This is my first successful batch of breeding Ranchu ever in my life.
Wow.
Just for whatever reason, I just have bad luck. I got a nice top view Ranchu male from Gary Hayter in Ohio, and it was from the Hayashi line. And I thought that was real special. And he sent those out for Liz, actually. She's my fiance.
Okay.
When she had cancer. So he sent them out. No, he sent them out as a nice gift.
Yeah.
And because he knew, he knew that I was going to take care of them for her. But he sent those out. And then I bred his male with the female I got from Kalihi Pets, which is a side view Ranchu. So that's not normal. You know, you normally breed top view with top view. But I just had a nice female, and honestly, I didn't really have too many choices because that's the only female I had. But these guys turned out pretty nice. I mean, with the exception, this is a skinny boy, you know, and you know, this guy's got like a weird numb on his back. You see it?
Oh, yeah.
But you can't see that from the top, you know.
Yeah.
But his
it looks like a shark fin almost.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. I don't mind.
Like that.
He can stay. And you know, like I said, I believe I can breed that out. I believe I can breed it out with another Ranchu. Like if I get another Ranchu that's nice, I'm gonna try to breed that out. So I'm happy with these guys because, like I said, this is my first successful batch of Ranchu. Now,
it has a really good story behind it, so that's amazing.
yeah, it's really cool. They're really cool. So the process for me is, I'll come out in the morning. Goldfish usually breed in the morning, from what I've noticed. So I'll get up early, like maybe anywhere from 4 in the morning to like 6 in the morning. That's just automatic. It just happens. So I'll come out and I'll look for the male that is chasing the female, because I can find the male. The male will have white spots on his pectoral fin. Like, let's say I like this Ryukin, so I'll show you this one. This guy's a stud muffin.
Oh man, beefy.
He's a beefster. So right here, right on this pectoral fin right here. Nah, he's too nuts. All right, so right here on this pectoral fin right here, there'll be white spots in a straight line, just like a general's rank, right on his forearms, and that means that he's a male and he's ready. So when I see the male, he'll find the female because she'll be ready. The male won't chase the female if she doesn't have eggs. So let's say that this fish was getting chased, because these two fish are beautiful. I want to show them off. So let's say that this fish is the male, and I came out in the morning, and this fish was chasing this one. I mean, you'll know. He'll be headbutting the belly, trying to get the eggs out. It's instincts. And that'll happen for hours naturally. So I'll come out and I'll intercept them. So first thing I'll do is I'll find my female, that's her, and I know it's a female, he's been chasing her, and I'll keep it in the water just like that, no stress, and I'll lightly push on the belly right here underneath the vent. Just a little push. But you gotta empty all the eggs out, because you can't leave her with some eggs. Even if you move her from here to there to there, when I start, I gotta empty the clip, you know what I mean? Because it's for her own health at that point. So I'll squeeze her out, and as I'm doing that, I'll move the water around so that the eggs spread out nicely. I don't want them in a bunch, because then it hasn't proven to give me a good success. So once I see the eggs are spreading out, they'll spread out like a whirlwind, I'll cut her loose and she can go back to playing. And then I'll take the male that's been chasing her because he's ready. I can't be just squeezing males, you know, it's not healthy. So, and then I'll take him and I'll do the exact same thing, and I'll squeeze him gently and I'll empty the clip all in there. I'll swish the water around and he'll release, and it will fertilize the eggs. Oh, wow. And then immediately this guy goes away. This water gets set aside and I'll drop an air stone in it. And that way I'll leave it for like an hour. Just let the air stone rip it, you know, just rip it. And then after, let's say, an hour goes by, after I feel that there's been enough fertilization, I'll come out, I'll dump it out, and then I'll get some or whatever. I can dump it on the side, but this has got a good filter. I dump it right back in. I get them some fresh water, but it's not fresh, but you know what I mean. It doesn't have all the magic in it, you know? And then I'll set this one aside. I'll put the air stone in it, and then I'll leave it for a couple days. It's summertime, I don't have to do too much. So, but if it's winter, I'll put a heater in there. And then maybe 24 to 72 hours later, there'll be little eyelashes swimming around in there.
Oh, wow.
And that's when you know, that's when you go, please let these guys live. I think that there's an advantage to being in the islands because it's a tropical climate for raising goldfish. But I think some places on the island are better than others. Like where I live right here, this is the desert. Like this is Ewa Beach. It's very dry. We get rain for a couple months, like in April shower season, bring May flowers. But other than that, like these months, August, it gets blasted with heat, and that's not fantastic for goldfish. But like, if you went to a place on the island like Wahewa or like Manoa, where it's a little bit higher in the mountain, they get like more precipitation. At night, it's cooler, but they still get that beautiful sunlight. So they get like the hot, cold, like day, night, hot, cold, which is good for breeding. Because once it gets cold like that, it's gonna make the fish drop eggs. It's gonna make the males wanna breed. And then when that heat comes, it's only gonna make them think it's springtime. You know what I mean? It's almost like, it's like they get a full season, like almost like every 24 hours, and then every 2 weeks they can go again. So I think we got a nice advantage. Because when I was in Delaware, on the East Coast, the upper East Coast like that, it gets real cold, and it gets real cold. And unless you can bring all your stuff inside, your fish, they gotta hibernate, you know, they gotta go into like a slumber under the ice, and then you gotta wait. Sometimes they come out with some nice colors, but you're not breeding is my point, you know. Yeah, I guess a question usually I get is like, when's a good time to breed your goldfish? Like at how old, and how old do you know your fish are? But I would say like a safe age would be about after they're a year old, and that's all. It's all still opinion. Like, okay, you see this guy right here, the guy that's in the front right here, he's got the cap on him. He's a little bit more mature. You can tell from his wen and his size. His wen is his head. And his size, that fish is like prime time breeding. He's not too big, he's not too old. Because once they get too old, it's not too fun anymore. You know, you don't want to be, they're not really interested anyway, and I'm not gonna squeeze them once they're like 2, 3 years old. But this guy's probably about a year old. Now, these two guys right here, these are my two guys, the ones that I want to breed from my line. They're not even a year old. They're like getting there. But this is the time, anytime after 6 months, I'm going to keep my eyes on them because they're going to start showing me if they're male or female. Now, earlier I talked about those breeding stars on the wing or on the pectoral fin right there. Like right on the abrasion strip of his thing. Also, if the fish is nice and dark, like this guy, look at his cheeks. He's a squirrel. He's not trying to go anywhere. See those white bumps on his cheeks?
Yep.
That means he's a male. And he's probably almost ready. And this fish is only 7 months old. So this guy defies the rule. You know, like, wait a year. A year is a safe thing to say to people that are getting into breeding, you know. But this guy is mature because he's just about 7 or 8 months. And he already got the breeding stars. This one's already ready. This one will hunt out my female. And because he's young and strong, he'll get first dibs. There is a culling process. It happens many times. It goes, what do they say? Traditionally, like in those old videos I was telling you about, in the subtitles it says, there's no such thing as too many stages of culling. There's no such thing. If I can keep 3 for myself, I'm happy. Because you've seen those Ranchu, I have 5. That's overwhelming for me. I'm elated. 5 is fantastic. 3 is good. But you know, 1, you can't complain. If you get 1 soldier that's a champ, that's your guy, you know? Like, look, this guy's a rock star. I mean, I got 3. 1, 2, and 3 from that line. But man, this guy is obviously my favorite, you know?
Yeah, he likes you too.
Yeah, he's a cool dude. Yeah. So there's always 1, but I got 3. So I'm rich. I'm rich with joy. But 1 is good, which is the reason why it's hard for me to cull. It's hard for me to cull because you don't want to, sometimes you don't want to jump the gun. You want to call out your champ, you know, then you'll be sad. if I can call them out, I'll try to get them to somebody that will take care of them, somebody that will feed them, someone that has the time to grow them a little bit more, and then decide if these guys are good enough for them. Because, you know, somebody's calling might be somebody else's champ. I'm getting ready to do like a little bit of a water change. I do this every day or every couple days. I'll take this pump right here. This is an extra pump I have. And this is just a basic, this is what I used to fill it up with when I had my stuff inside. But I just sit it on there like that. It's nothing special. And I just drop it in like that. So I'm just pumping out. You saw it had a guard on it, so none of the fish can go into the intake. Those guys, they don't even know what's going on, so it's all right. I have it rush into this garden right here in the back, and the water runs down, and it will run through this sweet potato patch. It'll run through the soursop, through the palms, through the banana tree, and it'll come right through past these papayas. Because that water is good water. You know, we can't drink it, but it's good for the plants. It's better than Miracle Grow, and it's natural, you know. I don't have to use chemicals on it. Yep. It'll just cut right through here, and it'll go to those kainitos that I started. But these papayas, they can use it, and the bananas. The fish need the fresh water. The plants need water, but they don't need fresh water. They just need, they need to be fed. I'll tell you why these are cool. Now first I want you to see this enclosure I have for them, because I'm like trying to replicate like if they were in a forest, you know, getting shade, like indirect sunlight. Yeah. Because if I leave these out, they'll get wiped out. Now these are cool. A kainito, it's a fruit. It's almost the size of an orange, but man, it's fleshy. I can't explain it. You could never explain something that good. But these ones that are growing right here, the seeds came from Liz's mom's grandfather from the Philippines. Oh. He brought over the fruit, planted his seeds when he first landed here. It became a tree, and the fruit from that tree, these are the seeds here. So we're trying to keep that going, because that tree is on a property that was sold. So here we go. Yeah, people ask me all the time, like, what do you feed your goldfish? And I like literally anything that sinks. I don't spend like $1 million on the nicest food in the world. I mean, whatever. But anything that sinks, I'm kind of running low. But this is just a combination. And look, these guys, they don't care. They're gonna eat it no matter what. Look at this. And all this stuff sinks. I try to make sure I get sinking food, because I don't want them up at the top sucking air like that, making a bubble gut so that they go upside down. You know, that's, what do they call it? Swim bladder disease. See that fish goes on, or that food goes under the water, so those guys can just chomp it up. See? It's like they're getting a drink with their food instead of coming up. You know who I am? Mr. Brown's Goldies, and this is my fish room.